when you go deep within yourself and you go beyond the materialistic things that you may want or you may need, and you go deep into like who you are, the inner workings of your mind, what makes you tick, and you do it not for any monetary gain, but just to know who you are, you're going to be able to figure out what are your actual desires, what desires align to who you really are. And once that happens, your manifestations will also align because hello lovelies, it's me, Ania Snai, back at it again with another video. It's been a long time since I have come on here just to talk about what's been going on in my life, because a lot of things in my life have been changing, and I just want to give you guys a quick update. So I believe the last time we spoke, I'm not even too sure what we were talking about, but I remember where I was. I was living in kind of a toxic environment, unfortunately, and I didn't have a job and I didn't have income, and I had really no plans. Well, I had things that I wanted to do, of course, but there was really nothing that I could pinpoint as to something to look forward to. And so that is when I wanted to just start focusing on myself, because I can't remember where I saw the quote or who said it, but when things are seeming, if you're feeling lost, look inward and start to work on yourself, because that's where you'll find where you need to be. And that's what I've been doing. So I've made videos about my spirituality, my relationship with organized religion, just things about my mindset and where I was going. And one of the things I've been doing while I was gone was manifesting. We've talked about manifestation on the channel before. I actually don't remember when we did it, sorry. But we have talked about manifestation before, and I do remember bringing up a comment that I got on my I Got Fired video, because it's something that I do look back on sometimes. I look back at that video and I look back at that comment because when I saw that comment, I was very conflicted. I was confused. I really didn't know what to say. And I look back at that situation because if you haven't seen the I Got Fired video, first off, it was about me getting what I thought was my dream job as a leasing consultant in a big city, and I was only a leasing consultant there for about 2 months because I look back at it now and I sucked at it. I was not ready for the responsibility that I got. I sucked. Yes, could the people that I dealt with would have been nicer to me? Could they have followed through on what they said in regards to training? Yes, but you know, when you suck at something, you suck at something. I don't know. But anyways, when I got that comment and after I dealt with that situation, I didn't really manifest a lot for a long time, because a part of me thought like either manifestation is not real and it's just like pseudoscience or whatever, or I'm just not good at it. And throughout these past few months, I've realized that manifestation is real. It's just I was not doing it right, and I wanted to share the information that I found because I think it could help somebody who is trying to manifest. And this is coming from someone who does not claim to have any relationship with any higher power. I don't claim to be a higher power. I don't claim to be a expert in this field. I don't know everything that there is to know about manifestation and the laws of attraction and this. I haven't even done like actual research, you know. I haven't even done actual research. What I know is what I've seen and what I've heard from other people on YouTube and on Instagram or whatever. What I know is what they have said, as well as the experiences that I have had personally. So I think that that's a pretty unique lens, because a lot of people, they will come on YouTube and try to not necessarily claim that they're like a mystic or something. Not saying that that's not true, because I do believe that there are people that probably do have higher connections with different beings that are not of our dimension. I know that's kind of, I'm kind of going down the deep end, but I do believe that there are people out there that do have those connections, and I do believe that some of those people do have YouTube channels. But I'm saying there's a lot of people that do kind of pretend, and a lot of people that kind of regurgitate the same shit that's already been said. So I think if it's coming from somebody who doesn't claim to be a part of any sort of religion or spiritual movement or law of thinking, and it's just based off of a normal person who wanted a better quality of life and decided to go after it in this way, I mean, it might help someone else help someone else that needs the help. That you know that you don't have to be this ethereal spiritual person to get what you want out of life. So I have a couple of notes that I've taken down of things that I was doing wrong in regards to manifestation and what I've been doing that's been helping, and just talk about the things that have recently manifested for me. So number one thing that I realized within these last few months about manifestation is that you cannot manifest without shadow work. So quick overview on shadow work. I'm not an expert on shadow work. I haven't done it for a long time, but I have done it before, and I found it to be very helpful for me. Shadow work is basically you connecting with your inner self, the personality or an aspect of your personality that you tend to keep hidden, or your shadow. Your shadow can be maybe your inner child, which I believe that that's my shadow. My inner personality is the younger version of myself. I have learned that that's what it is for me. It could be different for you. Yeah, it's basically having conversations. I have followed a lot of shadow work prompts that I have seen on Pinterest that I will put right here on the screen somewhere. Basically what I do is I take my journal, I get a pen, and I write out the question or the journal prompt, and I just write out what I'm feeling, and I kind of just go in whatever I'm thinking at the time, whatever I feel like pertains to the question. I just write it out. Sometimes I read it over to myself a lot of the times. And this shadow work is not I'm not trying to get necessarily anything out of it other than a deeper understanding of myself. So it's not, I'm not going into it like I'm going to do the shadow work so that I can get the things that I want. Like I can get the materialistic things in this reality that I want. Like that's not the goal for me. I think if you go in with an intention like that, you won't get the true benefits of shadow work, because even despite doing shadow working would help you with your manifestations, like doing shadow work helps you realize what kind of person that you are, so that you can easily go after the things that you want. Because if you're trying to get A, B, and C, but A, B, and C is not, it's not really what you want, like it's not gonna work. Like for example, the job, I thought that job was something that I wanted. I never really truly looked into myself and asked myself, is this job, is a leasing consultant really what I want to do? Why is this something that you want to do? Is there a reason why? Is there something else that you can do that can give you the same benefits without like having you become a person that you really aren't? Like when you do shadow work, it allows you to question what you really want and realize, is what I'm manifesting even something that I even want to happen in my life? For example, if you want to manifest a boyfriend, let's just say you're lonely, you're tired of sleeping alone every night, and you want a man in your life, and you just manifest a man without doing any shadow work, without working on yourself, without figuring out what kind of partner you really want, or without figuring out what kind of partner you are. You're gonna get the boyfriend, and listen, it might work out well for you, but it probably won't. And it probably would have been better if you would have just did some shadow work, did some deep revelations, and figured out exactly what you wanted, what kind of person you were, and what kind of person you think aligns with yourself, right? That's kind of the same thing with a lot of other situations and a lot of things that we think we want, we don't actually want. We just think that if we get this thing, then other things will come with it. Like when I was on my weight loss journey on my YouTube channel, I thought losing weight would make me a happier person. It would make people like me more. It would make guys pay attention to me more. It would make me happier. It would give me self-confidence. All of those things do not come with losing weight, and anyone that has lost a significant amount of weight will tell you that. If you want to like yourself more, you've got to like yourself more. You have to do the work to do that. If you want guys to find you attractive, like, ask yourself why is that like important to you? There we go. Manifestation doesn't work if you don't do shadow work, because if you don't do shadow work, it's going to be very hard for you to figure out what things align with who you are supposed to be. And number 2, meditation reveals faded paths so that your manifestation can grow. Meditation. Now, a lot of the time when I would watch people talk about manifestation, how to manifest, I would never hear them talk about meditation. I would never hear them talk about the benefits of meditating. Meditating, I'm, again, not an expert. I don't claim to do it every day. This month of May, I tried to do like 8 hours of meditation for the month. So every time I would meditate, I would time myself and I would just sit there in silence, or I'd listen to some calming music that didn't have any lyrics, and I would kind of just do some deep breathing and allow my mind to wander, and I would time it. And when I felt ready to open my eyes, I would open my eyes, I'd look at the timer, and it would be like, I don't know, like 10 minutes or 20 minutes. I'd write it down. And what I wanted to do is by the end of the month, it would add up to 8 hours. Did I do that? No, probably not. I think a lot of the time I would just meditate and I wouldn't even time myself. So I wasn't really doing it with a lot of intention in regards to how much time I was meditating, but I was meditating. And a lot of times people, and if you guys want me to talk about what people get wrong about meditation, I definitely would do that. The reason why I didn't meditate until maybe like April or May of this year is because I thought meditation meant that you had to sit in silence and have your mind like completely blank. And I'm not gonna say that's impossible, because I'm sure people do that, but I don't do that. My mind wanders. And something that I saw on the internet, if I remember who the woman was and what her channel was and all that stuff, and if I find the video, I'll play it here.
I wish somebody would have told me before I started my spiritual journey. The purpose of meditation is not to silence your mind. It's to learn how to sort through the noise. The noise is not the problem. You being afraid to connect to it is. You're thinking the universe and your ancestors are withholding signs and they're not fucking with you, when in actuality you're not fucking with yourself enough to be able to receive the signs they're trying to send you. It's like asking for a sign that you're scared to see. You're holding your hand out, but you got your eyes closed.
But basically, what she says is meditation is not for you to silence the chaos, it's for you to learn how to navigate the chaos. And as soon as I heard that, I realized, okay, I can meditate. Because for me to sit in silence, my mind is not going to be silent. I talk to myself sometimes. I think about different scenarios, whatever. When I sit down and I allow my mind to wander, I'm able to more effectively analyze my thoughts and ask myself, why am I thinking this way? Why is my mind going to this situation? Is this something that I need to focus on in my life? And it's really good to meditate like before or after shadow work, because it really helps you dig deep into like why you think things, why you feel things. Sometimes when I would just be going about my day and something like irritated me, instead of like being super quick to like anger, I would allow myself to sit and kind of like calm my mind and ask myself, like, why are you irritated? What about this irritated you? Is this situation something that is similar to a situation in your childhood? Is that why this could have irritated you? And meditation, not manifestation, but meditation allowed me to more easily get into that mindset instead of being so quick to like pop off, right? So meditation calmed my mind and in a way healed my soul and my thinking patterns and allowed me to call out easily negative and toxic thinking patterns that I had. And it's really hard to manifest when you have those kind of thinking patterns. Like if you deal with things like self-doubt or self-hatred or anything like that, it's kind of hard for manifestation to work, which is another reason why I believe that job that I got, I didn't keep. Because even though like I wasn't really good at it, like I think if I would have hyped myself up and gave myself grace, even if no one else did, I would have been in a better spot, because I wouldn't have believed that I just suck and there's nothing to do and, you know, I'll never be good enough, right? Because if I would have practiced meditation and been able to call out those negative thinking patterns, I think the manifestation would have like stuck, right? Because I don't know, when you have negative thinking patterns, it's hard for you to even align with your manifestations, because if you truly deep down in your heart feel like it's not meant for you, then it's not going to be meant for you at all. So that's what meditation has done for me. It hasn't necessarily, no, it has. It's directly helped with my manifestations because it's allowed myself to think more positively and call out things that, you know, I kind of want to work on. So you gotta meditate. If you are trying to manifest something in your life and you haven't tried meditation before, try it. Do 5 minutes maybe every day, or, you know, a couple minutes before your lunch or something. And I mean, meditation doesn't necessarily mean you have to sit down in one place. You can go on a walk, and instead of listening to like music, you can just be in nature. That's meditating. Journaling is meditating, especially with scripting. A lot of people, when they're talking about manifestation, they bring up scripting, that you should script and this and that. I think a part of the reason why scripting works is because it's sometimes a form of meditation. So journal, script, go on walks. You can sit in silence. You can listen to music. I listen to music that doesn't have any lyrics in it, so I'm not singing in my head and not focusing on meditation. But if it helps you to listen to music with lyrics, your favorite song, do that. And you don't have to sit up when you meditate. That's another thing I love. You can literally lay down and meditate if you want. You can sit crisscross applesauce. You can do fucking yoga and meditate. Like, there's no rules when it comes to this. And realizing that not only were there no rules, but I didn't have to be completely silent while doing it, it's made it so much more accessible for me, and maybe it will for you. Since we have already talked about scripting, let's get into it. If you're manifesting something, write it down and keep it safe. Now, there's not a specific way that you have to write it down. I know there's a lot of rituals that people have, and a lot of people have like specific rules when it comes to scripting. What I found is there are no rules. Write down what the hell you want to write down. If you want to write down like as if you already have it, do so. I've done that. I've written like a letter to the universe, like, thank you so much for giving me X, Y, and Z. Now I'm more able to do A, B, and C, and yada yada D, and la 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 loo. Like, I've written letters to the universe. I have drawn, and you know, my penmanship and my drawing is not that great, but I've drew like what I would look like being in a specific situation that I wanted to be in. And I mean, I'm not an artist by any means, but you know, it's something. It's visualizing where you want to be, writing it out, And the most important thing is keeping it safe. Keep it safe. Keep it hidden. Keep it for you and only you. If you want to share these ideas, these hopes, these dreams, these goals with people, share them with people that you trust 100% of the time. Share it with people that you know for a fact that they want to see you win. And I mean, trust with your life. You can tell your partner, but only tell your partner if they've never given you a reason to believe that they're only with you because you're down, right? Same thing with friends. I believe I talked in another video a long time ago about how I was afraid that, if I started doing better in my life, started like making more money or whatever the case may be, I was afraid that they would stop being my friend because they only wanted to be friends with me while I was like going through it. And that was kind of true. It was more so I had to trust my intuition on that, because that was kind of the case. Like, as soon as I started like, doing just a little bit better. I'm not saying I was like Daddy Warbucks or anything, but I did a little bit better, and all of a sudden, like, I wasn't shit, or they did a little bit better, and all of a sudden they were too good for me. I don't know why I even brought that up, but be cautious about who you share things with. And it's not just because a lot of people will be like, don't tell anyone anything because they're going to try to steer you in the wrong direction. That's totally true. Just like you can manifest new realities for yourself, other people can try to block those things, whether intentionally or unintentionally, just due to the fact that they don't like you, they're jealous of you. They might say under their breath, and they don't necessarily mean it, but words have power. And you tell them something like, I'm going to Hawaii next week if as long as I can save enough money for A, B, and C, and then they are in your face telling you, yeah, I hope you get it, and then behind your back with their boyfriend or something, they're like, yeah, that bitch talking about how she gonna save money to go to Hawaii. She can't even save money to do da 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 da. She'll never go to Hawaii. Ha 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 ha. Like, she might just be talking shit with her man, but those words have power. And you want to have your manifestations, but you don't want anyone else's energy to be a factor within those manifestations. So that's why you have to be cautious, and that's why you got to keep your manifestations safe. So when I write the things I want and scripting and all that stuff, like, I have it in a notebook, but I'll tear it out of the notebook and I'll fold it up and I'll keep it in what I call like my little manifestation box, and it's right here. The only person who knows about this is my boyfriend, and he doesn't even look in it. At least I'm pretty sure he doesn't. I trust him. He doesn't look in it, but I have shown him a little bit, and I'm showing you. I'm showing you my manifestation book. So this is, I don't really know what this is. This was given to me by a friend of a friend. They were trying to get rid of it. I don't know if they made it or they found it, but yeah, he's missing a little eyeball. I'm sorry about that. But you can open them up, and I don't know what this is, to be honest with you. I think these were like receipts to pay stubs. That's receipts to pay stubs. This is like some of the things that I would write down in my notebook, and this is my favorite part. So this little box, it's a heart, which is very fitting because I feel like it's very connected to my heart and my soul, because this is like all the things that I hope for and dream of, like the shit that I want, you know what I mean? So I got this little heart thing because it was supposed to be filled with chocolates. I got this on Valentine's Day. I went to a party and they gave you these little boxes, and they're like, go ahead and fill your box with chocolate. I never filled it up with chocolate. I was having too much fun, but I still kept the box. When I decided that I wanted to start scripting more, and I decided that I wanted to take it out of the notebook, but I didn't know where to put it, this is where I put it, in this little box. In this box there is, well, there was a rose quartz in here, but it's on my windowsill being charged. I had it with me all day today at work. Spoiler alert, I have a job. I had it in my bra, right? Ooh, I didn't need to do all that. I had it in my bra, right? And I kind of, before I put it in my bra, I kind of held it in my hand, and this morning I was like, just please attract good, kind hearted people into my life, and in this day, protect me with self-love and all that good stuff. And at first I didn't even notice it. I was like, I'm not feeling much of a difference, but by the end of the day I was like, oh yeah, today was a good day. So I'm gonna keep rose quartz in my bra near my heart all the time. I don't know why I went there, but basically I would keep the rose quartz in here. What's also in here are these $2 bills. It was so crazy because I had recycled cans and he gave me these for the money back. And if you don't know, like, $2 bills are supposed to be very lucky and very rare, and to get 2 of them is crazy. Here are some more notes, more manifestation notes, and then a lucky silver dollar that I found. I don't even remember where I found this, but I found it. And then I went on a walk one day, and on that walk I found 2 lucky pennies on one walk. If you didn't know, lucky pennies, when it's landed on heads, that's lucky. And the fact that I found 2, it was just like 2, and it was like right after I got those lucky like $2 bills, it was like something's starting up. So I kept it in here. And last but not least, I got this fortune cookie from a Chinese restaurant. Where is the camera? Come on. I hope you guys can see it. Ooh, my nails are so dirty. I'm so sorry. Basically, it says there is this prospect of a thrilling time ahead for you. And I was like, hell yeah, right? So this is my little manifestation box. I write in my manifestation journal, and if I feel compelled to, I'll rip it out and I'll put it in this little number here. So that's what I mean when I say write it and put it up. If you want to make like a manifestation box like mine, do so. If you don't. You can just as easily, like, you know, write something in your specific notebook that you have dedicated to your manifestations, as well as write it with a specific pen that again you have dedicated to your manifestations. I also, because another spoiler alert, I was able to move out of that toxic situation and move out of that toxic household and have my own place, which you're seeing right now, and you'll see more as I make more videos. We kept the Social Security check in the money order. We kept it in here. Ooh, Lord. We kept it in here. So faded, you know, rose quartz is in here. If I'm not going out, I'm gonna start wearing rose quartz like every day. So I think I'm gonna get like some rose quartz jewelry and keep that original rock in here, and then wear like things like necklaces and stuff like right on my bosom, just to keep me safe and protected. And there's also coins here. I think my boyfriend did this, so I might have lied. My boyfriend has looked in here, but not looked through my shit. Like, I trust that he didn't do that, because I asked him and he said no. You know, maybe I'm stupid, but I love him, and I know he'd never invade my privacy like that. So I think he might have put these in here. Not too sure why, but money is money, you know. And you know, people make like money bowls and stuff like that, so I think that this thing can double as a money bowl. But yeah, set it and forget it. Like, I've written stuff about like, thank you universe for providing me with A, B, and C, even though I didn't have A, B, and C at the time. Like, I've literally written as if I had it. I've written scripts as if I was like writing the same term over and over again. Like, In regards to my job, I wrote down like, I just had a great interview at such and such. I just got hired at such and such. Oh, I work at such and such. Oh, I just started working at such and such. And just like a bunch of papers, just wrote it all down and just kept it in here, set it, forget it. And now I work at such and such. So yeah, write it out, set it and forget it. If possible, just keep it to yourself, or tell someone that you trust 100% and you know that they are rooting for you and want to see you win. Because it's just like, it's like kind of dangerous to say your manifestations to people and you don't know their intentions. It is also powerful to say your manifestations to people that you do know their intentions, like your boyfriend or maybe your mom if you have a good relationship with her, or a best friend that you know loves you and supports you and cares for you. Because guess what? They're gonna think about your goals, your manifestations in a brighter light, and they won't have the same kind of blocks that you'll have. Like if you're dealing with self-hatred or self-doubt, they won't have those things about you, especially if they care about you. They'll be like, oh, my girlfriend is definitely gonna get this job because my girlfriend is da 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 da. And or your best friend is like, oh yeah, my bestie is gonna get that job, or my bestie is gonna make that money because she always does, she always makes it happen. And you know, I'm hoping and praying that it works out for her. You know, just like someone can speak hurt and hate into your life, into your goals, into your manifestations, the right person you tell can give you that added boost that you might need. But you have to be you have to have discernment in regards to that. You cannot just trust everyone. You can't tell your fucking coworker, right? You cannot tell your coworker that you want the raise, because they might hate on you and they might do some shady stuff in regards to your shit. You cannot tell your boss that you want another job with a higher pay in a different position. You can't do that. You cannot tell that male-centered friend that you know. We all know a male-centered friend. You can't tell her that you're looking for a relationship, because then you gotta have discernment. You have to have discernment. Another thing that I had to learn in regards to my manifestation was to let go and let God. Hallelujah. 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 You have to let go. But this is the one thing that, even after that dream job that I had, this is the one thing that has kept me stuck, is that I'm a Virgo. That's my sun sign. I run on logic. That is what I do. That's what Virgos are known for. Sometimes me being logical can be to my detriment. And when I want something, I want that thing specifically, and I feel like it should happen in the way that I envision it. But that's not how life works. For example, and I don't know if this is giving too much information, so I'm gonna try to give this information in a way that you'll understand what I'm saying without giving you too much access to my personal life. So let me think. I don't know. Okay, let's say this. I just got my CDL, my licensing for a truck driver. I've been working very hard to get that licensing because I want to drive big rigs for Target. I want to, and this is just a hypothetical. This is not true. I'm just not trying to have you have too much information in my shit. So let's say I got my CDL license, and my goal that whole entire time that I've been doing the schooling and doing the tests and everything was that I wanted to drive big rig trucks for Target. And I manifested, and I've written, and I scripted, and I kept things safe, and I've done my meditation so I can reveal ways and blocks and pathways so that I can one day, applied at Target. You know, the manifestation that I've been doing has been giving me ideas to where I'm going on in LinkedIn and I'm looking up, you know, managers and project managers and logistics managers to see who has the information so that I can get my resume out there so that I can drive trucks at Target. And I've been doing it. I'm working. And I've been focusing on Target so much. It's so attached to that dream of driving trucks for Target that other opportunities that would have been better for me and more aligned with my ideals and what I want to do have passed me by. Maybe I want to drive trucks for Target, but Target requires like, I don't know, like 24-hour days. You know, I know that's not legal, but you know, what if that's something that they require and I know that I can't do it? So that even if I do get the job at Target driving the trucks, I can't do 24-hour days and my fucking work starts to slack and they fire me, just like what happened to me personally with the leasing consultant job. I was attached to outcomes instead of just being like, hey, this is what I want, and then meditating to figure out exactly what aspects of the things that I want align with who I want to be as a person. So I was so focused on getting a job at Target driving trucks that I didn't even see that Walmart was doing a hiring event for people that just got their CDL, no experience. Just come in, bring your resume. We'll do an interview. We'll see if you like you. But you didn't know about that because you were too busy spam emailing the logistics manager at Target. So now the Target people haven't gotten back to you, and Walmart has already hired all the truck drivers that they're going to need. And so what would happen to me sometimes is if I didn't get exactly what I wanted, I would quit. So then, guess what happens? Let's say you fucking quit. You're like, you know what? I'm tired. Target didn't want to hire me as a big rig truck driver, then I'm not going to do it anymore. And then you, instead of doing the thing that you said that you wanted to do or following the dream that you wanted to do, now you're just like door dashing. Which isn't what you wanted to do. You're in a worse position than you left off at, and you're pissed. And now you're saying manifestation doesn't work because you didn't get exactly what you wanted. But the problem was you were too attached to the outcome of working with Target that you didn't realize that there's other opportunities that might even be better for you. You know, like, for another example, something that actually happened to me, like, I was working at another apartment recently, and they had promised that they would hire me on. They said they liked me, and this was after the first leasing consultant job where I had a lot more experience and I understood what was required of me, and I fucking killed it. I killed it, and I got so many compliments from residents, from managers, from everyone. And again, I was attached to the outcome. And because I was there and I knew I was temporary, but because they told me that they were going to hire me on, do you think I applied for any other jobs? No, I didn't. I just trusted what they said. And guess what happened? They didn't hire me on. Actually, I was literally 15 minutes away from going in the next day. It was a Tuesday, and I was already in there on Monday. 15 minutes away from clocking in on a Tuesday, they call me and they say my services are no longer needed. And there was no explanation at all because I was a temporary worker. So they don't have to give me an explanation. At the end of the day, even though well, you know what? There we go. Just because they said that they were going to do something does not mean that they are obligated to do something. And they didn't. And that's what happened to me. I was in a shitty situation because I did not plan for that, because I took their word. And I was attached to the outcome. The outcome of I wanted to be a full-time, permanent employee of that apartment complex. I look back at it now, even though it was only a couple months ago, I look back at it now, realizing what I know now about that specific apartment complex. it was better for me to have been let go that way, because the way it is now, like, that wouldn't have been aligned for me at all. I would not have enjoyed that. And even though the job that I have now is not really the job that I want, I feel like it's aligned for me. Even though it's not what I want, it's not the kind of job I want to do, it's nothing of the sort, it's aligned with the goals that I have. Isn't it crazy? That's what happens when you are not attached to a specific outcome and you allow the universe to do its magic, and you tell them and you say, hey, I'm open to any possibilities. This is what I want, this is what I am hoping for, but I'm open to it all. I'm open to it all. I want to drive trucks for Target, but at the end of the day, I want to drive trucks for a company that is going to be the best for me and my family. That's going to give the best pay, the best benefits, the best time off, if those things are important to you. And if you're not attached to outcomes and you're just going to focus on the things that you can control, which is applying for jobs, calling people, emailing people, fixing your resume, things like that, if you're not attached to the outcome and you trust that whatever happens, it's going to be for your good and for your benefit, the manifestations are going to be flowing, which is what happened to me. That is exactly what happened to me a few weeks ago. I finally realized that I cannot be attached to outcomes. There was a specific job that I wanted, and I almost was gonna take it there to a point where I was fixated on, like, am I gonna get the job? Am I gonna get the job? I need this job. And I told myself, I meditated, and during that meditation session, I told myself, let go of the need to have it be perfect. Let go of perfection. Let go of the outcome. Whatever happens is going to happen for your benefit. Let go, and let God. And the last thing I want to say before I close off, the thing that I got wrong with manifestation was the fact that I never practiced gratitude for what I had. I never practiced gratitude. When you're in a situation like a fight or flight situation, in survival mode, it is easy for you to fixate on the things that you lack, especially in this day and age where a lot of people don't have jobs. A lot of people are struggling financially. A lot of people are struggling finding homes. They're struggling with gas. I mean, gas is high as hell. Oh my god. Like, oh my god. A lot of people are struggling. A lot of people are going through a lot. But there's a lot of things to be grateful and thankful for. And the way I was able to let go of outcomes and let go of attachments was the fact that I was able to call out things that I was grateful for. Yes, I don't have a job. Yes, I'm not living in the place that I want to live. Yes, I am going through something mentally. I'm going through something financially. I'm going through something physically with my health. All of these things. And yes, I can manifest, and I can meditate, and I can write things down, and I can put it away, and I can do all of this work to get the things that I want. But you have to be grateful for what you have. No matter who you are watching this, there is something that you can be grateful for. And you can be grateful just simply for the fact that you have air in your lungs. Because a lot of people didn't wake up today. And that's the truth. A lot of people didn't wake up today. A lot of people went to bed and did not know that they were not going to wake up. And the fact that you're here watching this video, the fact that you woke up this morning, the fact that you were able to see your family and hug on your kids, and even if you don't have kids, even if you don't have a man or a woman in your life, the fact that you're able to sit and be by yourself, just be by yourself. That's something to be grateful for. That's something to be thankful for. So you can write down your manifestations all you want. You can script, you can daydream and visualize what it's going to be like when you finally make it to the mountaintop. But you got to be grateful for the fact that you have 2 feet to walk up the mountain, because a lot of people are doing it without 2 feet. A lot of people are doing it with no feet and no hands. Be grateful that you have feet. Be grateful that you have hands. You don't have a job? I know. I get it. I've been there. I haven't had a stable job in almost a year. I just got a job 4 days ago. But I have been able to survive this whole time for a number of reasons. A lot of people lose their jobs, and next month they're on the street. Thank God that didn't happen to me. Thank God I never had to face that. That's something to be grateful for. I'm grateful for the support system I do have. Even though I was living in a very toxic environment, I'm thankful for the people that did care for me, did love me. Yes, I had a couple of friendship breakups throughout this last year, but I'm grateful for the friends that stuck around, and I'm grateful for the fact that I'll have a chance to make new friends, if that's a possibility. But even still, I'm grateful for the friends that I do have, you know? I'm grateful for my partner. I'm grateful for my family. Even though, moms don't always say and do the things that we want them to do. Dads aren't always around when we want them to be around. But damn, I can still call up my dad at any time and talk to him if I need to. Will he say everything I need him to say? No. Will he be the kind of support that I need? I don't know. But some people don't have dads. Some people had a dad that they could confide in, but unfortunately they're no longer with us. Some people had mothers that nurtured them, and their mothers are not here. You have to be grateful. If you do everything else that I said to do, but you're not grateful for what you have, you've already lost. I think that is the number one thing that brought me from no job, no money. I'm not saying like I've got this big mansion and I'm rolling in dough, but I'm growing and I'm moving and I'm grateful. And the more that you're grateful for what you have, the more gratitude you'll have when your manifestations start coming in. You hate your job right now, I get it, but you have a job. Be grateful that you have a job. Be grateful that you have a landing strip, that you have a safety net right now. I know you hate it, but go into that job that you hate every day with a big smile on your face and feeling grateful that you have it. And guess what? Your sunny disposition and your new attitude, you might start to like that fucking job. Your attitude might do a whole 180, and now the people that you weren't fucking with at the job, you kind of feel like, hey, they're not that bad. That promotion that you wanted, that you're always getting skipped over for, I mean, you're angry and you're mad and you're like, I'm about to quit because I've been putting in work for 4 or 5 years and they still haven't given me that promotion. If you go in there today and you're like, you know what, I'm grateful that I have it, maybe they'll see you and be like, hey, what's up with her? Like, we should get her in HR and see if she wants this job opportunity. It might not be the opportunity that you were looking for. We're trying to be a team lead or something, but maybe they're like, hey, maybe we'll just have you as an assistant. It's higher pay, it's a little bit more benefits. It's not the job that you were applying for. Don't be attached to outcomes, but hey, let's see. Be grateful for what you have, so that your manifestations can grow. Because once the universe sees what you can do with little, they're gonna start giving you a lot. Once they see that you're grateful for what you have, they're gonna give you tenfold. We tell little kids to be grateful for what they have every day, all the time, but as soon as we turn 18, all of a sudden, that's not applicable? Absolutely not. Be grateful for what you have. There's so many things you can be grateful for. Practice gratitude. Just like you can find shadow work prompts on Pinterest like I did, I found gratitude prompts as well. I've done guided meditations for gratitude. I remember when we first moved into this apartment, I felt so much warmth and goodness and love that I sat with myself and I just I meditated about how grateful I was to the universe for what they provided me and my family. So be grateful. Anyways, I want to thank you so much for watching this video. I know this is probably a long one, and if you made it to the end of this, I just want to tell you that I love you and I appreciate you for being here with me. Again, if you like this video, go ahead and like this video, subscribe if you want more, and like it. Let me know if this is the kind of content that you're interested in. If you want to see and hear more of my takes about different things, I'd love to talk more about my experiences with shadow work and meditation and practicing gratitude and all that good shit. Like, let me know what you guys want to see from me.